Meet me at the Chazen. My name is Jennifer Fields. Each episode is an invitation for you to spend a little time with us thinking deeply about works in our collection. This semester, our episodes will focus on a sculpture with a troubling past and present. The Emancipation Group is a series of sculptures created in the 19th century by Thomas Ball. It's a motif featuring President Abraham Lincoln standing over a kneeling man whose shackles appear to be freshly broken, implying that he is now free. There are several versions of the sculpture on display across the country. In the wake of social pressure to reconsider memorials dedicated to colonialism and the enslavement of Black and brown people, the one in Boston was removed. But what about ones occupying spaces within the walls of museums? What about the one at the Chazen? One last question. Do you permanently remove the sculpture from view, or do you use it as a tool to reckon with our problematic past? Amy Gilman is director of UW-Madison's Chazen Museum of Art, and she chose to answer the previous question by fostering a project entitled Emancipation. It's a collaboration between UW-Madison's Chazen Museum of Art, artist and educator Sanford Biggers, and Mass Consortium, a collective of artists working and living in New York. Each episode begins with a simple, not-so-simple question. What is Emancipation?
I'm Amy Gilman. I'm the director at the Chazen Museum of Art, and I think that Emancipation is this museum's attempt to grapple with problematic object in our collection in a way that helps us understand how to be a better museum. I actually think that every project I have done in my career has led me to the point of being able to do this project. But not because I knew that that was where we were going, but because of the kinds of things I was interested in exploring. At the beginning, it was really just about the object. And the object is at the center of the project. But one of the things that's exciting to me is that we have all approached this, and this has been my mantra from the beginning, which is that this is about process. This is about, we want there to be an exhibition at the end. We want there to be, tangible results of this, but we also want to expose a process of getting to this point, because actually museums are not good at doing that. It's actually really important to know that where we have ended up is not where we started. Right. So at the beginning of this project, I didn't know that we would end up with so many collaborators and that it would have such a wide reach and that we would end up thinking so broadly about what it is we're trying to do here. I just knew that it was time to look closely at this particular object, the Emancipation Group, in our collection, and think about it both from an art historical standpoint and about its place in American history, and how we, as a museum, as individuals, as a community, grapple with long-term systemic racism. I look back now on the major projects I have been involved in my career, and the thread that I see is that at every stage, I am less interested in sort of the curator as this God voice that originates all of the content and all the ideas and thinks about it and then puts it out into the world in the form of a checklist, which then becomes a series of loans or whatever. Or, just that I would predetermine everything. And I've become less and less interested in that. And every project I've done has become more and more complex in terms of who is involved and what the outcome is. And every time I do something, I have relearned how important it is for me to be the instigator often, somebody who is like pushing people and thinking about parameters and actually connecting people together. That's actually probably my main job, is to connect people, but also to understand that if I do my job right, it's not going to look or feel anything like what I would have done on my own. It requires the talents of all the people in the group, whether that's in the team at the Chazen, or whether that's in working with Sanford as this incredible artist, or him bringing in these collaborators and working with Mass Consortium and them connecting us with Ebony and Rich Medina and Farrah Monk and all of these artists who are absolutely at the top of their fields, not just in their creative spaces, but also in the way that they think about things. And our expertise is about museums. But we need people from the outside to help us be better.
You've been listening to Meet Me at the Chazen. Our guest, Amy Gilman, is the director of UW-Madison's Chazen Museum of Art. Meet Me at the Chazen is a production of the Chazen Museum of Art on the campus of UW-Madison in Madison, Wisconsin. For more information about the museum, its collections, and exhibitions, visit chazen.wisc.edu. I'm your host, Jennifer Fields. Thank you for listening.